So that being said, Jeff Kurkjian, welcome. Just give us a little introduction about your wonderful self.
Well, I'm Jeff Kurkjian, and I live in Las Vegas. I work for a station called 1027 Coyote Country. I grew up in Maryland, and Mac and I went to high school together. I love hosting a morning radio show, Jeff and Aimee in the Morning on Coyote Country. It's always been a dream, and now I get to do it for a living every day, 5 to 10 a.m. It's a great time.
Tune in. I was gonna say, so when you give like introductions of yourself, do you say like Jeff Kurkjian from, and then your radio station, or do you ever say like, because like you're more than just that, like you host your own show. Well, you and Aimee host it together.
Yeah.
But how does that?
Funny. It's actually funny because when I was introducing myself, I was like, damn, I forgot to name the show. I would say like I'm Jeff from Jeff and Aimee in the Morning. It's funny because I really go by Jeff a lot, and it's like obviously Jeff Kurkjian, like people I grew up with know me, but like it's, you know, a lot of personalities just go by one name. It's not that people don't know my last name. I say it all the time on the air, but like I would always say like when you're like, oh, that's LeBron James, right? First name, last name. Or you can call him LeBron. It's like, oh, Jeff Kurkjian, Jeff from Jeff and Aimee in the Morning, 1027 Coyote Country. Kind of goes all together. I just pick and choose how I want to introduce myself.
So you know how there's like, you know, like we're talking celebrities, there's like A-list, B-list, C-list. What letter would you give yourself? N-list.
It's actually funny that you said that because a lot of people will comment like on our videos, or like I've been big on TikTok lately. I've been, you know, Las Vegas TikTok has actually been really big. And so people will write to Aimee and I like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I found you guys. You guys are my favorite celebrities or something. And I never have ever thought of myself as a celebrity. But then I thought to myself, when I was growing up listening to people on the school bus on the radio, I thought they were celebrities.
Yes.
So really nothing has
100%.
changed. In Vegas, we always say like, okay, if I'm an endless celebrity in the world, right? In the country maybe, what am I in Vegas? So like we would look at like A-list would be like our athletes, right? The Vegas Golden Knights, any Raiders, the big time players, the casino owners, all that, you know, UFC fighters, A-list.
Elvis
B-list,
Presley impersonators.
We're probably like in the D-list somewhere, which I am happy to be in the D-list.
That's great. That's
happy.
That's top 4.
I always said so, like, I mean, I'm sure we're going to get to this in a moment, but my dad, Tim Kurkjian, ESPN.
What's your favorite Pitbull song?
I don't know any Pitbull songs. That was Adnan Virk, that mischievous, hilarious guy. He goes to Pitbull and says, your greatest fan is standing right over here. And over comes Pitbull. I didn't even know who he was. It was so bad.
Coyote. Coyote. There he is. Now, come on. You guys didn't get weird late night at Fontainebleau? Come on. You can tell your buddy Scott, right?
I didn't even know what to say to him. And he had this unusual outfit on, and he had a pair of gloves on.
An unusual outfit. He had on white, like, spandex pants and driving gloves.
Gloves. I had this complicated handshake. I didn't even know what to do.
I heard you were at Live at like 4 in the morning, bottle service the whole night.
We always joke with him. It's like my dad could walk through a country music show and not a single person would recognize him. But if you walk him through a baseball stadium, he is A+ list. You know?
Like, can I take a picture with you?
Exactly. But if he's walking through, I don't even know, a musical performance, and he's in the crowd or in the intermission, he's a H list. You know, so it's all about where you are and what you're doing. If I'm at a country show in Las Vegas, since we play country music, I would upgrade myself to like a C or B lister because everybody there is probably listening to my show. They may not recognize my face because it's radio, and thank goodness for that. But they will know the show, most likely.
Have you ever gotten like oh man, I recognize that voice?
Oh, dude, all the
really?
time.
That's
and
really weird to me to think about.
A long time. And so I've always been this loud, and I went through puberty, and then I kind of stopped here. And it never really finished out. So I've got a very distinct nasally sound. And it happens quite often. I was actually at our grocery store right down the street, and the lady was kind of just punching in my stuff and, you know, doing everything. And she goes, "How are you?" And I said, "I'm good. How are you?" And she bolts her head up and she says, "Do I know you from somewhere? Do we know each other?" And I said,
"Sure do."
I don't know if I know you. And I try to let them figure it out. I don't want to be like, oh, well, I'm Jeff from Jeff and Aimee in the Morning. It's like, what if they don't know that? And now I just look stupid. But eventually, oh my God, I listen to you all the time. I had no idea what you look like. A lot of people think I'm older than I am, which is surprising with my voice. But they also
I don't know though. And we've talked about this in the past. You're so young. I feel like you're so young for what you do. And like there's people your age in that world, but like to be hosting their own show at your age. And I don't know specifically, but I feel like that is on more the rare side, at least.
I mean, I think you would be right in saying that. You know, a lot of people grind their teeth in radio to get where I get to be every single day. I mean, I was doing mornings in Cleveland hosting at 21, and I was lucky to have a program director that hired me because he listened to every single audio piece and audio sample that came through Indeed.com, where I, no joke, applied for that job. I didn't have any connections. I didn't know anybody at the station. I didn't have any
resume.
Just came out of nowhere. Indeed.com, and he listened to it and said, I think I can work with this kid in order to train him the way, because it's also, I mean, you know, you're an athlete. So a lot of these people are, and I'm not too familiar, at least with football, but what I hear a lot in football is like, oh, he has bad habits and he's not going to be able to break them. Or if they're young enough, I know in baseball with a pitcher, like pitchers go to the minor leagues to get good habits. They're not good enough to pitch in the majors, but they're young enough, they're still developing, and they can develop good habits. And I think that that's what my boss kind of thought was like, let's catch him before he develops bad habits from another program director, and let's get him on the track of success. So I did, you know, radio for 3 years, morning radio, and now I've been here. Oh my gosh, it'll be 3 years this coming March. So yeah, it's been an exciting career. I guess
that seems a lot longer than I think I realized.
Yeah,
3 years. So 2 more questions before we jump in.
Yeah.
Have you ever kissed a baby?
Yes, I've kissed a baby.
So what is your baby kissing count?
How many babies have I kissed?
As a celebrity.
It's really funny that you brought this up, because my co-host Aimee has an 18-month-old, and she was pregnant while we were on the air. We started March 2018. She announced that she was pregnant in August of 2018. So like for a majority of the beginning of our first year, she was pregnant. In fact, she had her baby 2 weeks after our 1-year anniversary. And so when I first met her baby, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I can kiss her baby. And this was pre-COVID, mind you, by the way. So
of course,
no, it was okay to kiss babies then. So I didn't know where. So I did. I kissed the baby on the forehead like I'm a politician or something. It's just like very, very awkward. I think I've kissed.
I love that.
I think I've kissed 3 babies ever.
That's so weird.
I don't spend a lot of time with babies, you know? And I did ask Aimee afterwards. We actually did a segment about it. I asked her on the air without, just like you asked me, but without provoking, without any, I said, was it okay that I kissed your baby yesterday? Just out of nowhere.
You cool with that? Of course she's cool with it. You guys are like you guys are like family probably at this point.
Yeah. She's my work wife. We're super close. Her family and I, like, we're so tight. So yeah. And then we, you know, got into the whole thing of like people touching your baby in the grocery store, like squeezing cheeks. And it's like, once again, all pre-COVID. But you know how weird that is when strangers touch your baby, but it's okay when Jeff does. But then how old can the baby be when you stop kissing the baby? Now he's 18 months old. He's making noises and he's walking.
I think if he can walk I guess walking. I would say walking. If the baby can walk, I think the parents shouldn't be asking, be like, oh my God, kiss my baby. Like, no, it's over.
Yeah, no, at that point.
Just shake his hand at that point.
That's when they become a little human being. When they're still like a little nugget wrapped up in a blanket like that, kissable baby. Once they start moving on their own independently, I think we need to make this a thing for everybody.
Write it down, submit a new bill to the government.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is completely random, but like the door over your left shoulder is so like, what is that like a little closet? It's like so small.
That's where I keep my skeletons, in the closet. It's funny. It's a linen closet. So it's a small, but my girlfriend, Emily, she is amazing. She just started as an independent nanny and teacher for a family that can't send their kids to school. So here in Las Vegas, kids are not in school. So she left her job because she loves working with kids. So she left her stable desk job, doing things she's good at, but not that she's passionate about, to go give this a shot. You know, send her stuff into a nanny like place where they get clients and everything. And so right now, I'll show you. It's just
a nanny factory.
It's all children's books.
Wow.
And the thing I love about dating this girl is we both have OCD a little bit. So each shelf is organized, and then we have a Google Doc that is sorting each, so you know where all the books are.
That's so many books. Insane. Good for you guys. That's adorable.
You're right though, with the 2 doors,
it's so weird.
It looks a little weird. I'll give you that.
It's so weird. It's so small.
Yeah.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna drink that enormously large water bottle.
Let me tell you, Mac, when you live in Vegas, the number one thing is being dehydrated. It's hot. And I'm sitting in front of a window
What's it like there right now?
Right now? Hey Siri, what's the temperature in Las Vegas? I guarantee it's so hot.
It's about 99 degrees outside.
99.
It's 72 in Maryland.
Dude, it's 72, but also our humidity's at like 8% right now.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Let's light these candles. What kind of candle are you working with?
It's a DW Home pineapple.
Pineapple candle. Does it smell good?
Finely crafted and richly scented.
Does it smell good?
It smells so good.
The one thing I enjoy about doing this, since I try to get as many people as possible to light candles, is a lot of people don't light candles. And so they're like, oh, I found this candle, and they'll light it, and they'll be like, oh my God, this smells so good. And it's like, duh, it's a freaking candle. Light that shit all the time, man.
When I was single living on my own, I didn't have a lot of candles. Now living with my girlfriend, we have a lot of candles.
And you probably love it. It's an upgrade.
I love it. It always smells good in my house.
All right, so let's begin.
The Scrolls of Uncertainty.
I'm just going to read the question off, and then that's it.
All right, let's do it.
I'm going to answer it. Ooh, great one. Do you remember the very first pair of basketball shoes that you owned and wore? This is like second, third grade rec basketball.
Dude, that is a great question. Mine were Air Jordans. They were little, white with a black sole, white and with the red Jordan stitched on the side. I'll never forget it because I don't remember how old I was, but I know I was wearing sneakers like early, like your kindergarten. You don't need basketball shoes. But then when I started playing more rec ball and playing with friends and stuff, we needed basketball shoes. And my dad, a huge basketball guy, great player to this day.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure he's still playing.
So I wasn't the best player growing up, but I still play to this day. And the funny part is, and Mac, I know you're quite the player, and the most frustrating part, and I will preach this to my children one day, is never stop playing. And I'm so glad I played rec ball through as long as I did till I graduated with my buddies, because once I got to college, I got a little bigger, a little stronger in my own, and a little more confident in myself. And then I was able to become a better player. And I never would be good enough to make a high school team even now, even in my best shape when I was in college or whatever. But the point is, like, I played heavy pickup ball until I was really about 24. I moved here, couldn't find a league. I'm trying to get into a league, but still a lot of pickup ball. So yeah, those Jordans. But then I had a pair of the Tracy McGrady's. Do you remember those? The black ones with the lines? With the Tracy McGrady's, dude. Because I had the Jordans, but I don't remember, like, picking those out. Like, they were bought for me. The first pair I bought, like, went to the store.
The T-Max.
These T-Max, baby.
Dude, that's...
Yeah, the T-Max, that was classic. That was a classic.
That's so awesome. Would you go back to being a baby if you knew all you knew now, but... So this is a little crazy to think about. But only up here, only mentally. So you couldn't talk, you couldn't grab things. So basically, you go back to a baby, and you have all the knowledge inside you, but you have to wait to grow old to catch up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. And these are the kind of questions I debate all the time with my idiot friends.
Of course.
No, I would 0% do that because, and here's the way I look at it, and maybe it's just my situation. Like, we talked about it earlier. I'm so blessed to be doing what I do at my age, and I feel as if I knew I was going to host my own radio show at 21, I would not have tried as hard growing up. I would not have tried as hard in college. I would not have hustled as much to try to get jobs. And so and I mean this with all, I hope it doesn't come off as cocky, but if I knew that I would be successful in my career when I'd now, let's say, okay, I'm 12 at this point, and I already know, like, I'm not going to put in the effort. I'm not going to hustle. I'm not going to do the things. And also, not to mention that, like, I think everything happens for a reason. Like, I'll be the first to tell you that even things have happened in my career, and I've been lucky, that I haven't been happy with. And yeah, I'd like to go back and change things or have better relationships with certain people, breakups and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's like everything has made me into who I am today. So I wouldn't want to be a baby knowing everything I know, because also I would be dreading the year 2020. It would be the worst year ever. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine?
No. I would have to tell. I would try to tell everybody.
They would think you're like one of the Mayan ancestors saying the world's going to end. They'd be like, get this kid out of here.
For those that have seen the show The Umbrella Academy on Netflix, it's like one of those. That's what it's like. Time traveling and stuff. Too much.
Did you watch the second season?
Yeah. I'm almost done with it. I've got 2 more episodes.
I haven't even started the second one yet. I watched the first one. I haven't watched the second one too.
Yeah, catch up.
I like the first one a lot. What is your favorite Halloween costume you've ever worn or were most proud of?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Yeah, it's kicks ass.
Yeah, I remember what it was. I was in middle school. It was like one of the last years you actually would do trick-or-treating. I think I was 11, probably 6th grade. And it was at that point where all the guys were doing like, I'm a hobo. You know what I mean? And they would just dress as like... Just
pillowcase and they're just there for the candy.
Awful, exactly. And it's like, those are the kind of teenagers, even preteens, that I don't like coming to my house because I know what it was like. I gave up. This was my last year. I worked with my mom and my dad to make this. I was Rafael Palmeiro, and this was right in and obviously we grew up in Maryland, and it was right in the height of the steroid scandal. He had just been like thrown out of baseball, the whole thing. And so what my mom did was we got an Orioles jersey. She put his number on the back and then wrote Palmeiro, but where the R was, she wrote RX, like for prescription drugs.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I put fake syringes in my arms, opened up the shirt, and had a fake like muscle suit on, and dressed as a baseball player. But I was Palmeiro on steroids, and it was pretty
timely.
It was controversial. I went to a couple of houses, and they were like. They're like O's fans. So like, come on, they'll support him until his dying day kind of thing. And it's like, that was my favorite one. My mom made all of mine growing up though. She made my sister into the pink Power Ranger. And this is before Spirit Halloween, where they take over Best Buy that closed down. It's like where you could buy anything for $40. My mom would make it for $20 and it would be better. And so she made me into a pumpkin. I was Captain America one year. That was unbelievable. Well, I was like 2. I was like a cute one. Still pictures come up of that, me eating the Snickers. Yeah, and I was Captain America one year. That was one of my best. But I think that Palmeiro was the funniest, probably. Most creative.
Do you have a picture of it anywhere somewhere?
The Palmeiro? I know I have the pumpkin. I probably could find the Captain America. I don't know if I can find the Palmeiro. Now, here the funny part is...
It's a dirty secret.
It's a dirty secret. I remember where I went. I went to Tommy Karadimas' house. Never forget throwing it back. What's up, Tommy? I'm going to send him.
Shout out, Tommy.
Karadimas threw the best parties growing up. They always had the best food. Oh, unbelievable. And they invited their family over for all the parties. So there's like 94 different cousins, and they're all so much fun.
Huge family.
Like, it was great. They're amazing. That's where I went. So there's a chance that Mrs. Karadimas might have a photo. Because I think I remember us all taking photos on the porch before we went trick-or-treating. Man, that is a throwback.
What a name drop.
It's funny. Tommy is married now.
Yeah, didn't he just get married?
Yeah, he just bought a house. I mean, congratulations to that guy. And he was actually, when I was living in Cleveland, he hit me up. He's like, hey, dude, I know it's random. We haven't talked in years, but I'm going to be in Cleveland for business. You want to grab a drink? And we had some of the best laughs because it's like,
I bet.
I keep up with a lot of the boys I hung out with in high school and a lot of the girls too. But it's the people you don't see very often that you could really, like you and I, like we've been texting back and forth a little bit trying to get this together, but other than that, you and I don't.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in years, dude. Years.
So this is great, like to have these memories and drop a
Yeah.
name. Tommy K, what up, dude?
Dude, that's fucking hilarious. He was in I think like 2 of my math classes. What is your best impersonation of a plant drinking water? Would you like to perform that for me? You're an actor.
Yeah. Let me get into character. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me water up myself. Okay, so here's the question: Is the water being sprayed at me, or
Yes,
am I
you were
being
getting
lightly watered?
Oh.
Like, am I doing it the way I spray my plants, which is like as quickly as I can?
I was thinking more of like, let's say you're like a flower in like a meadow and it's raining.
Oh, it's raining.
Let's go with that one.
That is so beautiful. That is such a beautiful one. Okay. So I'm a flower.
Beautiful flower.
You just kind of take it in. That's it. That's what I got. You just you shake it down your body to try to get it all the way down to your roots. I don't need it up here. I need it all the way down to my roots. That's what helps me out. So
no, none of that.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the one.
That's
the one.
That is one of your questions.
Yeah, I don't know what number it is. It's only been done. You're only the second person. It's a rare one. So you're a Harry Potter guy, yes?
Yeah, big fan.
All right, so let's say you walk into Ollivander's in Diagon Alley, and Ollivander says, "Hello, Jeff. Today, you are going to be choosing your own wand instead of the wand choosing you. So, what mystical element would you like it to be made out of, and what type of wood?"
Wow. That is a great question.
Oh, don't I know it?
That is amazing. Okay, what type of wood? Okay, so I'm going to sound so stupid when I say this. Is ivory a type of wood?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Well,
isn't ivory like from elephant tusk?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a wood, right?
It's an element, though. So I play the piano, right? So, and when you play the piano, it's called tickling the ivories. So, and the ivory on top of the keys, it's the type of element. It's ivory, is what it's called. So, and they put it on top of the keys to make it comfortable. So when I play the piano, that's what I would want it to feel like, playing the piano, like doing my spell. So not ivory, but a piano is made of oak. A lot of pianos are made of oak. So I'd probably do oak.
We can throw ivory in it, like sprinkle it on top,
Sprinkle some ivory in there around definitely the handle needs to be made out of ivory.
For sure.
So oak, but then the handle's wrapped in ivory, so I can tickle the ivories when I'm doing my spells. And then I think I would have to do that's such a great question. And now I'm totally on the spot. I think I would have to do a strand of unicorn hair. And the reason why I picked that is because I think unicorns are extremely rare in that if we're in this world now.
We are in this world. Yep.
They're very rare in the magical world. And I like to think that they're extremely curious. And that's something that I like to be, is very curious. I like to learn about a lot of stuff. I like to listen to people who disagree with me, listen to people who agree with me.
So let me throw well, first of all, so an oak wand with unicorn hair with a little ivory sprinkled in.
There you go.
Here's a Harry Potter trivia question.
Yeah.
Why do people drink unicorn's blood? And what is the side effect? And what is the side effect?
Shoot, I don't remember. I can't believe I haven't. Man, I read them years ago.
Your answer was right. It gives them life. It prolongs life. Yeah. But at what cost, Jeff? But at what cost?
I don't remember the cost.
It just it gives you evil. It puts evil inside of you. It gives you darkness.
Right. That's
because you're killing something so innocent and so beautiful. Yeah. So if you drink its blood, and that's why Voldemort would drink his blood in the forest.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the first book, right? I believe it was
Probably
the first book
because
because that's when he was attached to Professor Quirrell.
This is a classic one. You've probably talked about this 100 times. So if there was a TV show in real life, what show would you want to be a part of and live in that world?
Ooh, that is a great question. If there's a TV show that I could be a part of, but it's real world, so I'm living in it. I'm
Those
not
characters at that workplace in that world.
You know, that is really tough because I watch a lot of shows where the exact opposite. Like, I wouldn't want to live in Game of Thrones. All right, I would die so quickly.
Immediately.
I'd be the guy in the first episode who eats the wrong thing and dies of dysentery. Like, that's how bad I am at, like, if you put me in a forest and said I had to survive for like 2 days, I would probably die. 2 days. You could go 2 days without eating, and I'd probably find a way to kill myself accidentally.
That's another one of these questions is, do you think you could live a week in the wild?
Oh, wait. What's your other question?
That was it. That's another one of these questions.
How could I survive a week in the wild? Was that the question? Could
you live a week in the wild?
No. There's no way I could live a week in the wild.
Dude, no shot. I would probably just kill myself first day.
That's so – it's like I joke with – I used to date a girl who was a amazing swimmer. She was a high school swimmer. She was a lifeguard. She used to swim across the Hudson. And so she's crazy. And, like, I don't talk about – I don't care. I've said it on the air 100 times. I'm a terrible swimmer. I'm, like, the worst swimmer. So bad. Okay. And I grew up having to wear earplugs or I'd get ear infections. So I'd always get ear infections. So I just stopped, like, trying. I never went into pools. I hated it. And so now as an adult, like, I could swim. Like, you put me in the pool, I like the pool. I don't like swimming. I don't enjoy it. And if you put me in the middle of a pool, yeah, I could swim out. I could tread water. I'm fine. If you put me in the middle of the ocean, I asked her once, true story, I asked her once, I said, if I dropped you in the middle of the ocean, what is the maximum amount of time before we could get a boat to you? Like, what's the longest you think you could go before you die? And she thought about it. And she said, I would probably end up dying of hunger before, like drowning because I'm so exhausted because I haven't eaten before anything else. I think I'd die in an hour. I'd die in less than an hour.
I would close my eyes. I would tell the Lord I'm coming, and I would just sink and just.
Exactly. I'd swallow water. I'd be so screwed. So, like,
more for fear of sharks than anything, honestly.
Oh, dude, don't even. It's like my sister has a awful fear of sharks. It's because my parents brought her on the Jaws ride as a kid. So terrible. Terrible idea. I know. Tim and Kathy have done some great things as parents. That is on their list of top 10 worst ideas as a parent.
It's on their blooper reel.
Yeah, really. She's deathly afraid now. I don't think anybody besides people who like nobody can tell me they love sharks, like they're cool with sharks, unless they research or make that their life. Like nobody, like, okay, do I think sharks are interesting to look at? Sure. Do I want to be around a shark? No, I do not. There's a swim with sharks thing here in Las Vegas, and you go in a cage, and it's like so separated. You're like not even close. There's like a cage and then plexiglass, but you're like underwater and they're underwater. I'm like, no, thank you. Like that thing is so huge, and
I wouldn't even go into the vicinity.
Like, thank you. No, thank
like, I'll wait for you outside.
I keep avoiding your question, and I don't mean to.
What were we? TV show.
Oh, okay. So
I was thinking about sharks.
I'd want to live in the world where have you seen the show The Boys on Amazon?
The superhero show?
Yes.
No.
Okay. I could have sworn you knew it. Superhero show. I'm like, yeah, Mac, you got it. No, I would want to live in that world because I do think it's real. I mean, it's all like it's a dystopian society where superheroes are owned by this company that's like Google, but like 50 times bigger than Google. So they're like super rich. And even though they're a private company, they like run the country because they have superheroes and everything.
Sure, yeah.
So they're contracted by the government, all this stuff. Anyway, I'd want to do that as long as I had superpowers. That would be cool.
What would be your go-to superpower?
My go-to superpower would be to be able to communicate with anything I want, any person I want, anything I want, animal at any given time.
That's a good one.
I could be the greatest radio host of all time if I could have a guy from Japan on and interview him in fluent Japanese. And then 5 minutes later, your dog calls in and I tell you what your dog is thinking. It would be the greatest radio show on earth.
I'm just thinking, like, imagine if you just like dropped a microphone in the ocean and just started talking, and like the nearest fish that came over and was like, "What's this?" And you were like, "Tell us your name, son."
Yeah, exactly. That would be my ability. And it sounds crazy because there are people who know like 6, 7, 8 languages. I'm talking like walk into the room and be able to communicate with any living thing, down to plants, but only at my choice. Because I know.
So I was gonna say, you remember like Bruce Almighty when he was first getting the God thing, and he hear everybody's prayers at the same time? That would drive you nuts.
Or Dr. Doolittle when he walks into the forest and everybody's talking to him. Like, I wouldn't want to walk into a room where somebody has a bunch of plants and they're like, "I'm thirsty." It's like, no, we can't do that.
Flies flying around. Dude, that would be
exactly.
madness.
I can't do that. That would be my superpower, though. And I think that would be the most efficient use, because I could be hired for anything. You know, if I wanted to, if it was my dream, I could work for the government and be a spy. I could be anybody I wanted. Or I could do my idea of a radio show and be able to interview and communicate with anybody I wanted. And yeah, I think that would be, what would yours be? I'm turning it on you.
I don't know, but I do want to make a comment. So you're telling me if you were given any superpower ever, you would use it to become a really good radio host that you already are? That's the lamest reason to get a superhero ever.
Well, I mean, I would travel the world. I would be the richest man on earth because I'd find a way to market myself. But if I just did maybe doing what I do now, like I could become the fastest man on earth but not tell anybody. So like I could have super speed, but then just go and be in the Olympics, or go be a wide receiver and just run like a 3.
No, that's like there you go.
I would get the greatest coach on earth, and I'd say, teach me how to catch a football. And what I would do is I would go to the Washington football team, and I would say, put me on your team as a wide receiver. I can run faster than anybody ever.
Ever.
And I will run a 3.2 40. I will run down, and if you want to throw it to me, have the guy bomb it. And if I catch it, great. If not, we're screwed. So
could you, dude, imagine if you were on that team with that superpower, but you still couldn't catch, and like they kept throwing it to you, and they were like, "Oh, this kid sucks."
Well, okay, Mac, I need to bring this up to you because this is a question I've wanted to ask you, a really good basketball player. All right.
Okay.
A guy who is a great high school player, a great college player, now makes basketball part of your life every day. This is a debate, okay?
Okay, hit me.
You get right now, you're 28.
Mm-hmm.
Top of the key. I give you the ball. Top of the key. 3-pointer. If you make it,
I shoot it every time. I don't know what you're going to say, but I shoot it and make it. But keep going.
Okay. When you make it, you will never, ever miss a logical shot for the rest of your life. Meaning you can't like do it like that. I mean, you're squared.
Yeah. If like my feet are set, I make it every time.
Every time. And even to a certain degree, a step back, you know, like by logical shots, I mean, you're not back facing 3/4 court down and you chuck it over your head.
Yeah.
I mean, logical NBA level shot. You have to be able to get yourself open. Okay? You never miss a shot again. If you miss the shot from the top of the key, you will never make a shot again. For the rest of your life.
I would do it. I would do it. I would do almost any scenario that involves me shooting a basketball. I'd pretty much say that I would do it.
Okay. So, but with that being said, let's just say you do miss it.
Uh-huh.
You have kids. You're the dad, and your son is out in the front, and you have a hoop, and you're trying to teach him how to play, and you can't make it. You go up for a layup, and you brick it every time. A layup you can't make. You can't.
My response to that is his form would be so good that I wouldn't even have to shoot. Like I could just, if I teach him the proper mechanics to get his form perfect, I would just rebound. Listen, Jeff, my goal in life is to rebound for my kids, okay?
Put that on a t-shirt. That is
so great. Who needs to shoot a jump shot when you have kids? You're there to rebound, you know?
That's very true. That's a very, very good point. But you never played pickup again. I mean, hey, listen, I'm the first guy to say I would take that bet at 27. I would take that bet right now. If you had told me that at 18, at 15, I don't know, dude. I mean, those are prime basketball playing years.
If we go back to that point and I want to play college basketball, I wouldn't do it. Because, like, my career would be over. At 15, we're still in high school. Like, my career would be done.
But on the same sense.
But imagine if I did make it. I would be in the NBA.
Dude, you're going to play in the NBA because you're going to go to a college where you're going to go D1, obviously, because you can't miss a shot. You literally.
If I couldn't miss a shot, I would be the best. I would be the best player in the world. I'd be the best player in the world.
The only thing you would have to do is like, and here's the difference between our arguments. Let's just say you're 18, right? 18 now. You just finished your high school career. All right. You're about to play college ball. Take the shot. You make it. Now, you're in a different situation than when I was 18, when I was like 5'3" and chunky. Is like I would then need to go get into shape, and I would need to find the greatest coach out there, the greatest trainers out there, because now at 27, I'm 5'6", still relatively chunky, and I would need to be able to find a way to get myself open to have a career. Because if LeBron James is in front of me, he's 6'9". I'm not going to be able to get a shot off, but I would go to a team and I would say, put me on the free throw line and I will never, ever miss a shot ever in my entire life. Get me open and I won't miss it. I will hit every buzzer beater if you get me open.
Right. Would you still have gone to Syracuse and just walked into Boeheim's office and been like, all right, let me lay this situation down for you?
Dude, if
I will never miss a shot ever. Do you think he'd take you? He'd have to.
Oh, as a walk-on? I'll say, dude, I'll keep my GPA high, so we'll be good on that. So I'll help.
I'll never be late. I'll never sleep in.
I will never miss a shot that I'm open. And if you come downstairs with me and rebound for 10 minutes, I'll show you. 10 minutes.
That would be
Give
wild.
Me 10. You know what? Forget it. Give me 5 minutes, and I will not miss a shot. If you point to a place on the court, I will not miss it. Red NBA 3? Boom.
Yeah. You'd be a defensive
Fadeaway
nightmare.
Boom.
You just freaking you in the top of the 2-3 zone, like
And that's the other thing. It's like I would be a complete and total. No matter how good of shape I get into, I would be a complete and total liability on defense.
What is the greatest or most memorable setting you've ever witnessed?
Setting, meaning like place, like moment, and
yeah, that's just the way I phrase it. Somewhere
no
you've been.
No, love the question. No brainer. I will never forget it for the rest of my life. I was in Australia. It's the most unreal.
Great already. Yeah.
I know, right? We went to this crocodile farm.
Took a quick turn there.
Like, why? Where are we right now? So we're in the middle of mainland Australia. For perspective, Australia is huge. And most of what we know is on the coast. We're in mainland Australia. It's the middle, it's like 8 p.m., pitch black outside. And there is zero light pollution. And they're walking us through, and we all have flashlights. We're all exploring this crocodile farm. You can see the crocs in their cages. We're about to do this dinner under this big tent thing in the crocodile farm. Not in any of the cages, thank God. What we're doing, and you can see the crocodile yellow eyes when you flash your lights around and stuff like that. But this moment has nothing to do with the crocodiles at all. Amazing. Then the tour guide looks at us and says, everybody shut off your flashlights. We shut out our flashlights. And he says, look up. And we look up, and I'm not kidding you. The sky, zero clouds, the most clear, starry sky you've ever seen, Mac, to the point where you looked up and you felt like the stars were here. Like they were like almost falling down on top of you. And if you looked up and ignored your surroundings, you just seeing the sky. It was, I don't do any psychedelics, okay? But it was as close to being on psychedelics than I could ever imagine. And it was the natural beauty of our world. And I don't want to sound cheesy, but like, I always said to myself, like, for the rest of my life, I will come back to this place one time with my wife. It's what I've always said to myself. I said, no matter what I do, if I'm 75 or 25, whatever it was, I went when I was 18. And I will go back with the woman I married one day and go to the same exact crocodile farm and have that moment with her, because explaining it, you can't. I tried, but you can't until you, it's amazing. Literally amazing.
That's why I like asking people this, because of that very reason. It's cool to hear somebody talk about something that they can't really explain, but like they try to, like they limp through it, being as suggestive as possible to like the experience, but like you never really can put yourself back in that place or put somebody else in that place. It's impossible to do. That's an awesome one. That's a great answer. The crocodile thing had me at the beginning, but once we moved past that a little bit, I'm glad we ended up.
Where the hell are we going? Okay, imagine, Mac, a crocodile farm in the middle of mainland Australia.
It was pitch black. What?
Pitch black.
Oh man, that sounds beautiful. I've never been to Australia, but
I mean,
mate,
honestly, it is to die for. It's incredible, truly amazing.
All right, Jeff, that's it, man.
Thank you, bro. Dude, I could sit on with you for hours. I mean, no
Appreciate your
joke.
time. Well, I will have you back then.
Yeah, dude.
Before anything else, let's blow these bad boys out. Is yours still rocking?
Rocking and rolling, dude.
Ooh, I got a little moisture. I got a little wax. That was scary. All right, that's a good way to end.